Welcome students. In this video, we will try to understand what do we mean by life processes. Before we start with life processes, we must try to define living organisms or the things which are said to have life. In your junior classes, you have studied that anything which grows is living. But after certain age, we stop growing, but we are still living organisms. Again, you have studied that the things which reproduce are living, but certain animals and plants, they are sterile, they cannot reproduce, but still they are living. Then you also have studied that the organisms which respond to stimuli are living, but during unconscious state, sometimes the organisms are not able to respond to a stimulus. That doesn't mean that they are non-living. So these definitions which you have studied earlier are insufficient to describe what are living things. So what do we mean by being alive? What are living things? Let us see. So being alive means if there is a continuous molecular movement taking place in an object or a thing. So these molecular movements are continuous. They are occurring for a fixed goal to achieve some goal, and these movement of molecules, they are taking place on a fixed path. So these type of movements, they are continuously taking place, then we call that an object a living thing or alive. Now these movements are not visible with the naked eyes, but we can always trace these molecules that they have moved in a fixed path. So when we say that if molecular movements are continuously taking place in an object, it is alive. It holds true even if an object is working, sleeping, or doing anything. Now, question arises, why these molecular movements needed for life? Why these molecular movements continuously takes place in living things? Now, we should again recall the structure of living organisms. We know that living organisms, they are made up of organs. Organs are made of tissues, and tissues are made of cells. And cells are having smaller components. We call them cell organelles. And cell organelles contain molecules. But due to the effect of environment, this organized structure has the tendency to break down over a time. And if this organized structure breaks down, then living organism will no longer be alive. So to maintain their life, the living creatures must be repairing or maintaining their structures. And to maintain and repair their structures, there is a continuous movement of molecules taking place inside them. So we understand why molecular movement takes place. And all these molecular movements taking place in some organized processes. So even if we are sleeping, these maintenance jobs are going on, and these processes which together perform the maintenance job of maintaining the structure of a living organism, all these processes collectively are called life processes. In this video or in the series of this video, we shall be discussing different life processes one by one, and we'll be starting with the first life process, that is nutrition. So nutrition is the process which provides energy for maintenance process. Now, for any process to occur, there is the requirement of energy. Now, how will this energy come into the organism? Now, this process of transfer of energy from outside the body into the body is known as nutrition. So it is the process by which organism obtains food and uses it to get energy. So all maintenance processes will require energy, and for energy the body needs a fuel. So our food is the fuel, and the process by which we obtain food and we use it to get energy is called nutrition. Now, in living organisms, there are two main types of nutrition, that is autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition means where the organism can prepare its own food using simple raw materials like carbon dioxide and water by the process of photosynthesis. So obviously, this type of autotrophic nutrition is seen in plants. Now, heterotrophic nutrition, where the organism depends directly or indirectly on plants to obtain their food. So this type of nutrition is mainly of three types: parasitic, saprophytic, and holozoic. Parasitic means where the organism lives on the body of another organism called host and derives nutrition from there. Saprophytic means where the organism is having extracellular digestion, that is, it produces the enzymes outside the body, and these enzymes converts the complex food into simpler forms, and these simpler foods are absorbed by the body. For example, in fungus, this type of nutrition is seen. Holozoic means when the organism is taking in a solid food particle into the mouth. So if we see the definitions one by one, the nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body to build the body for growth, to repair the damaged part of the body, and most importantly, to get energy. Modes of nutrition: main autotrophic and heterotrophic. Then we have types of heterotrophic nutrition, that is saprophytic, parasitic, and holozoic. Now, parasitic organisms, they could be found inside the body or they could be found outside the body. Those which are found inside the body are called endoparasites, and which are found outside the body, they are ectoparasites. Now here we have this thread-like thing wrapped around a plant. This thread-like thing is Cuscuta, which is a plant parasite. So parasites are not only found in animals, there are plant parasites also. Here we have the saprophytic mode of nutrition. This is amoeba, where we can see the holozoic mode of nutrition. Now, in the next video, we'll discuss in detail about the autotrophic nutrition and the heterotrophic nutrition.